So tell me, should we be afraid of the new coronavirus? Or should we be hardier? Should we be more stoic in our approach to this dreaded virus? Welcome to Arm Wrestling with COVID-19 in London. This is number 12. A couple of days ago, I went to the Armenian vicarage. The Armenian vicarage is next to the Armenian church down the road from me in Kensington. And the reason I went there was because I wanted to pick up two letters that had come in for me. As I went into the office, I saw that the parish priest happened to be in the office as well. He'd come to prepare for the digital Divine Liturgy this coming Sunday. So we had a quick hello, and then with our masks on, we decided to have a coffee. An Armenian coffee, an Arabic coffee, a Greek coffee, a Cypriot coffee, a Turkish coffee, call it what you will. It's one of those thick coffees, the one that gives you a boost. So anyway, we sterilized the coffee cups and we sat 2 meters or 7 feet apart in the office and we had a little chat over the coffee. Then I picked up my letters, said goodbye to him and left the vicarage. And of course this happened at a time when the government had just decided to extend the lockdown for another 3 weeks. And of course, while we were sipping our Armenian coffees, let's call it, we were both anxious. It was quite clear. I've known the parish priest for a very long time. But even though the flow of the communication, the conversation was smooth, there was an underlying anxiety, an underlying fear. Should we be together? What's going to happen? Is this dreaded virus going to come and attack us as well, or are we going to be able to protect ourselves? And of course, this is something that everybody, I suspect, is feeling, or at least most people are feeling these days. But it comes to a point which is essential to me. Having just re-engaged with the lockdown for another 3 weeks, my question is, what next? And why do I ask this, what next? Which incidentally I've also asked in previous YouTubes. It's not because I'm trying to be contrary, it's not because I'm trying to denigrate the huge efforts by the government to try and manage this COVID-19 pandemic. It's because we cannot continue a perpetual cycle of lockdowns. We have to know what's coming next. Where are we going next? What is that light at the end of the tunnel, that light which not only inspires hope in many of us, but also helps many families and communities which are cramped in small flats or houses together. You know, if you look at social media or if you follow the news, then you know that there is an increase in domestic abuse, there is an increase in crime rates. All this is, whether directly or indirectly, is linked with people staying in together, not being able to go out. So there needs to be a strategy, or at least the ideas behind how the government is thinking to take us from the lockdown into the next phase. Otherwise, what are we going to do? Stay locked in for weeks and months until such time as we get a vaccine, or until such time as one of those medications, hydroxychloroquine, azithromycin, or even this new drug they're talking about, which apparently is used on lice and which arrests this coronavirus in 48 hours, until that becomes approved and then given to us across the country. Sir Keir Starmer, the Labour leader, the new Labour leader, said that we need a strategy. And he was maligned by some politicians for actually preempting the game, for going too fast. I don't think he was going too fast. He wasn't asking for an exact roadmap, but he was asking for something that would instill hope in us and show us where the government will take us after the lockdown. Okay, so we have another 3 weeks. We're going to grit our teeth and do it. What next? That is what is necessary. And three things come to mind here to me, and to many people I suspect too. Testing is incredibly important. Then comes the issue of tracking contacts, so we know who's got it and who doesn't have it, and develop a causal link, a nexus. And the third thing is, I suppose, mobilizing business as much as individuals to be patient, to engage with the government as we try to get out of this mess that this virus has put us into, not only us, but most of the world today. So those are the three things that come to mind, and they were highlighted in that conversation I had with the Armenian parish priest. We're sitting there, we're both middle-aged, we're both worried, we probably have some underlying causes. So what happens next? Do we go into our flats and houses, grit our teeth, and wait until the government says we have to extend the lockdown for another 3 weeks? Or are we given the hope, the booster, like the coffee, the imagination to say, okay, this is how we're going to see this through? Just a thought I leave with you in case you agree or disagree with me. And as with that thought comes another thought, as always, for all those care workers, for all the NHS frontline personnel, for all the bus drivers, the people who deliver our mail, the dustmen, the pharmacists, everybody who is working so hard to keep us ticking, literally ticking. And in addition, I suppose, because I know there are a few people who follow me who are from the Orthodox Christian community, today is Good Friday and they will be celebrating Easter this coming Sunday. So a blessed and glorious Feast of the Resurrection for you. Circumstances aren't the most glorious, I suspect, but then again, Easter has a deeper meaning than just colored eggs and chocolate bunnies. Take care. All the best to you. Please stay safe.